Liam McGeary, obviously we've had him on here before. He's coming back up, Bellator 179, May 19th, Wembley Arena. Not a bad little location, right?
No, man, I can't wait.
That's a big venue for a lot of folks in the States that don't know like how big Wembley is. Like to be able to, musicians talking about being able to go over there to play it. You know, when Bono went over there with U2s, it was a huge deal for him to be able to play it. Timberlake wanted to play it. You know, so it's a big venue with a lot of history in it. Obviously, being from the UK, do you feel that kind of that? Wow, this really is a big deal. It's like it's the equivalent, I guess, of Madison Square Garden, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, we got the 12, and I think it's 12,500 seater we're in. I watched Anthony Joshua in the actual Wembley Stadium, and that was 90,000. Man, that was big. The atmosphere there must have been electric. You know, I've been at football matches, and it's incredible. But the fans didn't stop. But we're in a smaller one, but still, it's Wembley Arena. I'm not really thinking too much about it. You know, at the end of the day, it's a cage in the middle of a room with a load of people watching. Once that door closes, that's pretty much what it's my playpen. So I'm not going to overthink that.
Do you ever worry or have concern about the ref that's gonna cover your fight? Do you look at that list and go, oh, I got this ref who's actually covering my fight. I might be in a little bit of trouble. No. The referee doesn't bother me. The judges don't bother me. I try and get my fights done before the judge's decision, you know. So no, I don't really think too much about that either. I just go in there and fight. It's funny how smart you are with your fight IQ inside the cage. That you really learn very quickly as a fight is going on and progressing around you. You adapt, you change very well. But you don't think about anything else other than just punching a guy in the face. Like you're not concerned with, like you said, the judges don't bother you, the ref doesn't bother you, the other guy's corner doesn't bother you. Like you really don't have any inkling or understanding of what else is going on besides you punching a guy in the face.
You're seeing the look on my face when I'm in the fight. You know, there's nothing else. There's nothing, no expressions. I'm at complete peace with myself. I know what's happening. I'm in a fight. If he's going to left, I go right, you know, and I just got to be careful of where I don't zig when he zags. And like with the last fight, I jumped in and I got caught with a jab, you know, so I had to take a step back and be like, right, okay, I can't do that again.
Right. So obviously, Brett McDermott's way different than Linton Vassell, but not as much different as you would think. Like you see a lot of similarities between both these guys, right? Yeah.
I mean, they're both heavy-handed. Linton will throw a few more kicks, and he likes to go for a takedown once in a while, or a few times, you know. They're both big and they're both strong, you know. So it's just a fight game, man. We're all big, tough guys. We all come to a fight, and that's what I expect when I get in there on May 19th. You know, I expect the fight. But being an English dude, I know the toughness and the grit that we all have. So I know what I got my hands full, you know, and I'm fully aware of what's happening, and I'm for it.
What does it mean? Are you guys? Because you know we looked at Canelo and Chavez, the boxing fight that happened this last weekend, and really everyone was kind of reserved to. We're really just having this fight because we want to see Canelo and Triple G. That's really what we're waiting for. This Chavez fight really doesn't mean much to anybody else, other than the Mexicans, who were like, they had their guy. Whoever their guy was, they were vehemently defending their guy to basically become the king of Mexico. Whoever won was going to be the king of Mexico. And Chavez had a pretty decent shot going into the fight, but obviously as we got to the third and fourth rounds, there was no shot at all. He was so far outmatched.
Exactly. You know, what was it? I mean, like, I think I'd stopped watching in the 7th, 8th round, and it was like 133 shots to 20 odd, you know, and I was like, what is this, you know? And then you see Triple G sat there in the background, you're like, oh yeah, I see what's going on here. He wants everyone to zone in on that fight, and that was what they was trying to sell.
Yeah, it's a money grab for the Triple G fight. That's exactly what it came out to, and a little bit of a money grab, obviously, because Chavez is such a big name, not only in Mexico, but worldwide. Everyone remembers, yes. You know, if you're a boxing fan and you're over the age of 30, you remember every damn fight that guy had, you know, growing up in the 70s and 80s. So it's a pretty big deal. But the reason why I raise it, because to me it kind of seems like this, between you two, you and Vassell, it's kind of like who's going to be the king of England. when this fight is over, like who's the better guy that can claim I'm the top of the English food chain when it comes to fighting at 205? You did say that Vassell is a big, strong guy. I mean, you're 6'6", small fry yourself, but you're pretty light for 205, right?
Yeah, I mean, what was I think I'm about 215, something like that. But you don't need to. Being big and heavy doesn't mean nothing. Look at Tito's 230 pounds when I fought him. I didn't recognize the dude on the weigh-ins, but then when it stood in front of me, I was like, damn, this is a big dude. It means nothing. Size doesn't mean nothing. And all these people that, when you're fighting, the next question is, how much weight have you got to lose? And I'm like, that shouldn't be a concern. The concern should be, right, I need to do this for training, I need to do that, get that ready, I need to work on this, I need to work on that. Not worry about cutting 20 pounds. That's the last thing that's on your mind, and that's why I like to fight the way I fight. I'm comfortable at 215. I sit in the sauna because I like to sit in the sauna, and I end up cutting way too much weight anyway, and I'm always light when I step on the scale. So for me, it's not. The weight thing has never been a problem, and I can handle myself with these big boys. It's not weight. My jiu-jitsu and my striking, it gets my wrestling maybe not so much, but the rest of it is I can handle myself.
It's and the way the sport's changing, it's coming that way. We unfortunately somebody had some kidney failure trying to cut weight. We've seen guys, on the night before trying to make weight. The night before they have to make weight, they're going to the hospital because they're cutting too much weight. The game is going to change. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to ref in California with Andy Foster, who is leading the way of trying to change MMA from a weight cutting standpoint. And it's going to change. It's going to be more guys like you. I'm 215. I fight at 210, as opposed to going, I'm 215. I'm going to get myself down to 205, and then I'm going to cut weight to 185. Like, that's going to stop. There's not going to be any more of that. And I think the sport's going to get better because of it. But right now, it's so interesting to see a guy. I really think you're undersized at 205. Like, I think you're really small for 205, and you find a way to win every single time but once. And it's amazing. Like, it really is interesting to me to see you, because I'm that old guy. I'm that guy that's like, no, I'm going to be as big as possible. I want to weigh 190 when I made weight at 170 the night before when I walk into the cage. And you're like that guy that like, I weighed 205, I weighed 213, maybe walking into the cage. Like, and against Tito, you were really small.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of interesting. But so now let's go back to the Phil Davis fight. You lost a unanimous decision to him. Did you feel like size was the deciding factor, or was it the fact that he was just that much better of a wrestler, and that's what really offset the game?
He was that much better a wrestler. Positioning was his positioning was good, but for me, I didn't feel myself when I was in there. There was all these things going on in my head, and I just didn't feel how I am. And then I fought my last fight, and it's a complete different person to who fought Phil. I know in my heart that I can beat Phil, right? I do know that I can beat him. On that night, I made my preparation was wrong. I overdid it. I overdid it a lot, and it's, I was able to learn from them mistakes, and I won't do that again. I went into that last fight against Brett. I didn't give a shit who they put in front of me, to be honest with you. They came out with 3 or 4 different names. I was like, just put someone in there. I don't care who it is. Just let me fucking fight. So my preparation is right. I feel so much better, and I know where I'm at, now. I stopped a lot of his takedowns, Phil's takedowns, when I was fighting, which surprised myself, and I didn't even think about him. He got those knee taps. I mean, like, they were good. I've watched the first round I watched, or the second round. I haven't watched anything else. But the knee taps, and that's the sign of a class wrestler. He was able to cover the ground. He was able to do what he wanted to do, and his position. My jiu-jitsu went out of my head, right? When I fought him, my jiu-jitsu went completely out of my head. I was a white belt. I didn't know what I was doing. It bumped to the side. Shrimp, I forgot the main fundamentals of jiu-jitsu, and they left, and it's like, but you know what? I'm kind of. I met up with my dad, and he's like, I'm kind of glad that you lost. He was like, now you know what you feel. It feels like to lose, and what it takes to get that back. He said, the Liam McGeary I saw walking down to fight Phil, said, that wasn't my son. He was like, the guy that walked down to fight Brett, that's my fucking boy. And I was like, yeah, I came for a punch-up. I knew what I needed to do. And I'm at that place again. I'm at the place where I was at when I was winning the tournament, when I was knocking people out and submitting them in the first round. That's the person who I am. I'm back to where I was at. The little 14-month stint of where I had, well, I was sat on the sofa doing nothing, getting depressed and miserable, forgetting who I was and forgetting what I did and forgetting a lot of things. And it's like riding a bike, man. Once you get in a full flow and you're speeding along down the road, you're fine. But once you get to a hill and have to stutter, or you stop at a traffic light, it takes you a little bit time to get over and get going again. I got my momentum back. I feel fucking great. Now I'm ready for a punch-up. All of them.
So did your coaches have to sit down with you and go, look, we trained way too hard. We trained completely wrong for the Phil Davis fight. Let's change it up for the McDermott and carry it to the Vassell fight? Or was that just a conscious decision on your own? Where you're like, I got to change some stuff?
I told him and he agreed. He was like, I knew you was doing too much, and he's like, but nobody can stop me from doing anything. If I've got something in my mind, then I go and do it. It's like I'm sitting there and I'm tapping my fingers. I'm going to the gym. I didn't need to go to the gym. I've trained 3 times already that day. And it's like, I went to the gym anyway. Go lift some weights, go do this. I need to go do wrestling, striking, fucking jiu-jitsu all in one day. It was ridiculous, It's like, no one needs to do that. The less is more. That's what I learned from that one. Less is more.
It really is. It really is. And you're right in that good sweet spot. Now, let's say it's a great punch-up. Second round comes around, you knock him out. What does this fight mean then, after that? To
me, I've just won another fight. It's, I have read that he's like, who's the king of England? We want to fight. I don't give a shit about that, man. I just like to fucking fight. I'm doing a hobby, which I enjoy doing. I probably don't need to do this, but I can go do something else, but I enjoy fighting. And I'm like, well, what else am I going to do, So this is what I do. I was speaking to an old promoter of mine back in the UK, the Rumble on the Rock, and he was like, when I was 1-0, he put out to the top 10 of England, like the top 10 list in England, and Linton Vassell was on that list. I was 1-0 with the ICO light heavyweight championship. I don't know what it was, and we put out to all of these guys, and they was like, Liam's too inexperienced, or they've got prior engagements, or they're busy, which I can understand. But the Liam is inexperienced part, that was the one. I'm like, yo, how what? Because I'm 1-0. I was like, come fight me then. It's like the guy who I just beat was 6-0. You can't come back with me inexperienced.
Now that you're up, in the bigs. Bellator is one of the big leagues. You're in the big leagues. That some kid comes in and goes, hey, I'm 3-0. I want to fight you. I don't think there's a commission that would actually let that happen anyway. They wouldn't let you fight somebody. So now where you were, when you were 1-0, now you're like, let me fight. Now it's changed. The guys can't do that anymore.
Yeah, England don't have that commission. They stop that.
Oh, what are you, 0-6? And this guy's 27-1? Like, come on and fight. It's fine. If you guys want to fight, we'll have you fight. Yeah. It's still the same way out there. You're obviously super happy with Bellator. They got you working again. They put you on relatively close, if my dates are right. They've had you on some pretty close cards. So they're using you to more the liking that you wanted. You wanted to be used a lot more. Is there a limit to how many fights you want to do? Like, are you like, I'm only going to do 3 fights a year, that's my limit, or 4 fights a year? Like, is there a limit, or you'll go every weekend if you could?
If I could, yeah. Physically and mentally, I think 5 a year is probably around about right. Maybe a little bit too much, but for me, I got to go for my jollies. After a fight, I have to disappear for a couple of weeks and just turn my phone off and just wander around. But as soon as I come back, I'm straight back to the gym. I don't want to sit around. I'll still train. I'll still get better. And then if they say, we've got a fight card coming up, well, do you want to fight? Yep, Sam, put me down. It's that simple.
Liam, thanks so much, man. I know it's late for you. I appreciate you coming on. Have a great rest of your night. Enjoy the rest of your training camp and have fun going home.
Take it easy. Thank you. I said, I'm going to the gym. Take it easy,
man.
Oh,
right now you're going right to the gym? Oh, that's right. It's only 6 o'clock for you. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong time.
It's still early.
Yeah, it's just rest time. It's just nap time right now.
I know, man. I've been napping all day. I'm now itching to go.
Nice.
Watch Sons of Anarchy, man. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I watched it from the very beginning to the very end, every single episode.
Dude, I'm on episode 3, season 3, episode 3.
It gets crazier. It gets way crazier as you move on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of my friends did stunts on it. A lot of my friends that were part of the Mayans motorcycle gang are now the Mayans are doing a new spinoff. They're back on the motorcycle gang doing stunts again. So I'm really interested to it because I know a lot of the people that are there that are doing it, that are working. And then it's crazy when you start getting sucked into the storyline. You know,
the Irish. I'm on the Irish with the IRA part now.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're back in. Are they back in Ireland right now, or are they're just having the conversation?
No, I think they're in the church. So I've just seen the guy get killed in the church. Like what to do? I can't. So and now I'm just about to push play on the next one. I don't have to leave for another. I've got an hour, so I'm all right. I can get one more in.
You're gonna binge watch, yeah. That's how it goes. You get stuck on it. So, Liam, thanks so much, man, for coming on, man. Have a great rest of your train camp. We'll talk later.
Thanks, man. See you later, mate. Bye-bye.